One of the biggest problems I have with making the knife sheath was trying to get everything to fit. On my first ones, it just didn't fit, and it was tough for me. So my biggest problem is I didn't know how to make a pattern for the sheath. Well, in doing more and more sheaths, I've come up with the step-by-step process on how I do it. Okay, and this is just how I do it. I'm not an expert, so this worked for me. First thing you do is you get a piece of paper and you fold it in half. You mark the center line. And then you have to add the thickness of the leather. In my particular case, it was 3 mils. And this is going to be hard for me because I have to look at it from a side. So 3 mils. And mark it. And 3 mils and mark it. So what I call this is I call it the leather line. And you come in here and you mark that. Now what you want to do is you take the knife that you want to make the sheath for and you set it so, and I hope I don't get my head in the middle of all this, but so the back of the knife here, the spine of the knife here, and the spine of the blade there is right on top of that line. Now I'm trying to keep my head out, so if I'm not exactly right, this is just the steps. Then you profile the knife. Now that's how I made my first one, and guess what? It didn't fit. When you profile the knife, you have to make sure that nothing goes below this leather line. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to reorient the knife, and then you set the blade right here on the leather line, and make sure that that's on the leather line and it's lined up as before. And what you want to do is you want to mark the edge of the handle all the way up to this little point right here. So you mark that edge. And now that's called the Handel Edge line. Now you take your knife again and you set it on that Handel Edge line with the back of it along that line. And what you want to do now is you want to profile the handle. And you want to make sure you get this little part up here. So you start up here and you profile along this handle. Okay? What that's doing is that's giving you, see how thick this handle is? That's giving you the extra material you need. Let's extend that out a little bit. And I'm sorry, I'm having to read my notes here just so I can get it right. So we've got this here. Now what we want to do is we kind of want to combine this line here and this line here. We'll darken this guy here up. And then we'll bring this here down. Just bring this here straight down. If you want to kick it out a little bit, that's okay, but don't bring it in. And then come up with a nice transition here, like this. And you don't have to do radiusing and stuff like that. Now, we've done that, so let's identify this portion here. How tall do you want your sheath? Well, you don't want to bring it up too high that you can't grab here, so the more you can grab, the better. And you have to accommodate, that's still kind of wet, you have to accommodate for the thickness of this here. So what we want to do is we've got the blade edge there, we've identified this here, we've taken into account the thickness of it. So what we want to do is right here is determine this height off of the center line, which is about 2 1/4 inches, is that right? 2 1/8 inches. So we'll come over here to, we've identified this here is where we want the top of the sheath. So we come over here to 2 1/8 inches off the center line, and we mark that. Then we attach these 2 points, and there you go. This here is, and we bring this guy here straight down, or any other way. I get fancy with this. I'm just not a real fancy guy. And there you go. This here is the inside sheath line. Okay, right there. What we want to do is now we want to add 3/8 of an inch for the welt. And it's going to be really hard for me to see, so take my word for it. Just add 3/8 of an inch. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to do this real quick. Add 3/8 of an inch all the way around, with some nice transition points like this. Let's transition that to here. Draw a line across here. And then 3/8 and 3/8. And then a couple over here. And you get the point. Literally, point of the knife. And then you just combine all these dots. And I think I got fat here. That's probably 1/2 inch there. I think I screwed that one up. Yeah, that's 1/2 inch. That's way out there. So we'll just bring this guy back in here like this. And smooth it around, and you get the point, okay? Erase all these lines in here you don't need. Now, if you want to add a belt loop, one thing to keep in mind is the stitch line. So your stitch line is going to be basically right down here, okay? And you're going to need room to maneuver and stuff. So let's clean this up a little bit. You don't want it too close to this guy, okay? So what I like to use is 1 1/4 inch, or excuse me, 1 1/8 inch. So we'll come up a 1/4 inch off of here, and then we'll add 1 1/8 inch. About there. We're going to make this guy 3.5 inches long, or 3 1/4 inches long. And I'm just eyeballing here. Here we go. You grab something to radius it with. Let's get rid of all these lines here. You grab something to radius it with. Got my high-tech cap here. And there you go. Again, we'll get rid of some more of these lines. And there you go. There's your knife sheath pattern off of that knife. What you also have just done, you've also identified your welt. So to use this, what you'll do, you'll fold it back in half. And then you make a paper doll. And I'm just going to get it close for now. Actually, it's probably not even really that close. Now for the welt, if we cut out like 1/8 of an inch or so there, that'll give you a drain hole. And you don't need 2 of these, so you get rid of 1. And there you go, there's your pattern. And then when you're done marking this on the leather, you come back, you cut your welt out, you mark it, and that's it.